What's going on, guys? Duelim here, back again with another video. And today, we're going to be talking about my week 3 of Cosmic Crucible, giving you a full recap of what worked, what didn't work, and how I went 1 and 2. And we're also going to be showing you my defense for week number 4. And we've got some doozies for your opponent. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Coming in, as you can see, I went 1 and 2, so on a little bit of a backslide lately. So for round number 1, attack 1, we've got SD CGR going to Spider Society Quicksilver. Always works really well. CGR is a great character to go in Spider Society because his special removes all of their positive effects, and it's unavoidable as well, so it can't be dodged or anything like that, I'm pretty sure. So it does great things. Room number 2, we've got Cabal with MLF and Lizard. Lizard as a raider goes fast because of the Noir here, and also MLF is kind of an insurance policy as well, because she's going to put a trauma ability block on Old Man Logan, so it's kind of a insurance policy. But if you need MLF elsewhere, you can use someone else. It really doesn't matter. Room number 3, we tried to do the Cable, Emma, Nova, APOC, just Weaver against Hive Mind Sus. And unfortunately, Weaver did not get the trauma stun on Sus. The APOC punch did not flip the stealth on Sus as well, which was just really unfortunate. So I couldn't even punch Super Skrull, and then came in with a really, really bad cleanup that just killed it. So it's super easy. But you can see Super Skrull barely lived. But yeah, unfortunate. Coming into room number 4, we tried a New Warriors, a out-of-time Nova Dorm, and Gwenpool finally failed me and did not strip everything off of Black Knight. So we got stuck behind that taunt for a while, and then Black Knight G19 pinged me to death, and then we just came back in with Eternals. Pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy here, but unfortunately it was another dropped fight. Room number 5. Hive Mind is a good way to take out Darkhold. That's right. Especially if there's a Dakin in here. You got to remember, Dakin is going to get a bunch of extra speed if you bring in 2099 in here, because 2099 spawns with stealth. So this is trying to mess with the Tangled comp that usually takes out Darkhold. But Hive Mind worked really well. Essentially, you just use the Void Knight ult on MLF, and then you just start getting speed because they have a lot of low characters. You see Wong is pretty small, Strange is pretty small, Dakin's pretty small. Honestly, I think this would work even on a bigger punch-up as well, because of how good Hive Mind is, especially once they start getting speed. So this is a pretty reliable matchup. I liked it. And then room number 6, I screwed the pooch here. I just used the wrong team, honestly. It should have been MOE Doom instead of just full MOE into this. As you can see, it failed once, combat canceled. Failed the second time. I didn't back out in time, and then I came in with this conglomerate of idiots that worked. Doom ult worked, but I should have just done MOE Doom, and it would have won. It would have done perfectly fine. I would have one-shot it, and I would have won round 1 actually. So for stage 1 on defense, he used Pegasus into my Infinity Watch Quicksilver Snooze. Stage 2, he used Cabal Emma Lizard into my Black Knight with Mercs for Money, and as you can see, it was not the most efficient for him either. 8354. So it's still not an easy matchup. His Namor died too, which is pretty interesting. So it's not the easiest matchup, even with a Cabal going into this room. Room number 3, hide the pickle. That's right. So you'll see he used APOC, Weaver, Archangel, Zuggs, and Red Hulk. So APOC did get to his ult. He ulted, but he could not clear the stealth on Super Skrull, just like I had the issue with that. So he wasn't able to punch Super Skrull. And then Super Skrull just soloed the rest of their team. It was really funny. And Thanos was giving energy to Super Skrull as well. Came back in with New Warriors trying to kill just Super Skrull, and that did not work well. And then he was able to just barely clean it up with Eternals, Omega Red, BTS, and Wolverine. This Wolverine ulted Super Skrull for 3.7 million damage. And if he did not kill him with that ult, Super Skrull was about to ult him. and he would have cleared the field because you see almost everybody here was dead. So this guy won by an absolute sliver, and this room almost held completely. This room is doing some pretty awesome things. Room number 4, he had Superior 6 on offense, so he used on my Spider Society. Okay. Room number 5, he did SD with Vol into my Superior 6 with Archangel, and the Archangel's there to stop the Undying comp from coming into this, so it forces the SD essentially. Not the most efficient at 57. And then room number 6, he used MOE Doom against my Extreme with Dorm, which is the correct placement, is the correct team to use. He was smarter than I was. If I used the Doom, like I said, I would have ended up winning this matchup. But I played like an idiot, so that's round number 1. Round number 2, we're going against Desgaze. And for attack number 1, I've got SD with Kestrel in here. And it was pretty much just, I wanted more damage, so I just threw in a Kestrel. We've got a Vol. We've got like a out of time / Bifrost / Nova. It was kind of just extra characters that were big. And I had SD left over, so I just used them here. Room number 2, you'll see we have the Old Man Logan with 2 Horsemen, Dorm, and Noir. So I used the APOC 3 Horsemen Emma comp, and it did really well. There's no Taunter here, so if we get to the APOC ult, which we will, he gets that extra speed. He ults, and he punches Old Man Logan, and it's pretty much over. I would honestly like to see probably like a Panda in here instead would make it better, because you get that reflexive taunt when APOC ults, because it's most likely going to drop him below 50% health, and then you can't punch the Old Man Logan, and then you got some problems. But nonetheless, it is what it is. This is a pretty interesting room, but I was able to clear it. Room number 3, MOE Doom. Doom did absolutely nothing here. He literally stood here. He died. He didn't get to ult. He did nothing, and I was able to one-shot it. So yeah, it's incredible. Room number 4, we tried New Warriors Lizard here, and the reason why is because the Spider Society, obviously Lizard's good into Spider Society, and then once again had the issues with Black Knight. What I could have done is swap 4 and 1, but I really don't think SD Lizard would do well into this with that Black Knight in there. But I don't know, maybe it would. But I thought this was going to be a better matchup. Unfortunately, it was a drop fight, and then I came in with a Hive Mind cleanup. Room number 5, we've got Cabal with Vulture and Omega Red coming into a Hive Mind sus. So Cabal is a great way to counter this. It works really, really well. And yeah, it's a sus. It's a Hive Mind. It is what it is. But it's a pretty straightforward fight. Room number 6, we've got Tangled Eternals big time going into a SD or a Infinity Watch with Quicksilver. Super straightforward fight. Just BTS ult on Quicksilver. Also 3 diamonds. Shout out to that guy. And then it's pretty straightforward. So for room number 1 on defense, he used CGR or SD with Shang-Chi into my out of time Dorm. You'll see I did switch it up a little bit. No Infinity Watch here. So out of time Dorm was able to get killed by SD, but not the best efficiency. A 62 is not great. Most people were getting a 65 on my Infinity Watch with Pegasus, so this is still sapping 3 more points. So I'll take it. Room number 2, he was able to use New Warriors Echo into my Mercs for Money, Pre-Taunt, Noir, and Phoenix, because I was a dum-dum and didn't put Nightcrawler in here. So that pretty much almost cost me here. Room number 3, he was able to use the Cabal in the Hide the Pickle room, because he didn't have to use Cabal here because I didn't have the Nightcrawler. But yeah, Cabal, Vulture, and Venom. He doesn't have Raider on Vulture, which is stupid, because he absolutely should. He's not getting the speed to give to the Cabal members quicker because you're getting a quick crit, so that was a little bit of a mistake by him. Still worked really well, though. He used Superior 6 against my Extreme with Rogue in 4. And then in 5, he tried to use APOC, Doom, Kestrel, and then just Kang and Titania into my Superior 6 Black Knight. and it did not work well for him. Had to come back in and use a really bad comp, just like 2-piece Undying and then 3-piece Pegasus, no Kestrel, and it took a lot of turns, so this sapped a lot of efficiency. And that's honestly the reason why I won. And then room number 6, he got Tangled Eternals Omega Red into my Quicksilver with Spider Society, 8355. Not the most efficient, but it did one-shot it, so good on him. But that was a win in round number 2. Now, for round number 3, we went against Diesel Train, and he had some interesting stuff on defense. So we've got room number 1. I did Darkhold into Infinity Watch because my Pegasus is not 2.7 million to be able to Pegasus this. Darkhold punched up 1.2 million, and it worked pretty well. Terrible efficiency, but it's a one-shot, and it saves you from needing to use a good team here. So it is what it is. It's kind of a necessary evil sometimes. Room number 2, I tried to do New Warriors with Echo here. And honestly, it almost worked. I did one-shot the Old Man Logan. And this is a G19, 6 yellow, 5 red Old Man Logan. And I might have been able to do this matchup if I changed one move here. So you'll see I basic with Gwenpool on the Deadpool, turn 1, and then I use the Firestar Ultimate on Old Man Logan here. Firestar is a striker to put all those bleeds out. Now here, what I could do is special on Old Man Logan with Deathpool to spread the bleeds to Dakin. But I spread from Deadpool because I wanted extra bleeds to go on Old Man Logan to make sure he bled out. He does, but then the problem here is I don't do enough damage to Dakin here, and Dakin just barely lives. Even with that extra damage there, you'll see he lives with an absolute sliver, and Dakin is the reason why I lost here. You see how much damage he just did to me? Was kind of ridiculous, and then Deadpool was also pretty ridiculous here. So not being able to kill either of those was really, really unfortunate, and it could have gone a lot better if I was able to, but you see this team gets wiped by the rest of them. Again, I have a 3-diamond Firestar and a 3-diamond Deathpool. Deathpool is going to be G19, so I think I'll trust that a little bit more once I'm able to G19 her. So that would be really nice if I can make that work even after the payout for the Old Man Logan trials. But we came back in with Kestrel and Hive Mind. I've really liked Kestrel as a 5th for Hive Mind over Venom because Venom is kind of useless. But with the clump from Void Knight and then the special from Kestrel, it just deletes. And I really, really like that. Next up, Stage 3. That's right, Cabal can lose. So I used a Cabal Vulture Baron Zemo against this... Dorm, or the Dorm Extreme. The problem is all of them have dodges except for Dorm. So if your Vulture does not get a crit on Dormammu, you don't get the speed. And I didn't get a crit, so I didn't get the speed. And then this team absolutely wiped me. I came back in with Doom. Once again, Vulture did not get the crit on Dormammu, but I was able to focus down the Forge. Forge died. He did revive, but I got enough speed because Vulture passive, the Scavenger passive, he was able to get to another turn, use his ult, and rewind, and then the team was able to get a crit, and then Cabal was able to start rolling. So this team is really nuts on defense, and this is good in room 3, in room 1, honestly anywhere, because this team... doesn't really benefit from room 3 all that much. I know Nightcrawler has his exposed mechanic, but it doesn't do the most. So it is what it is, but this is a really interesting room. Making Cabal fail is pretty nuts. Room number 4. This was the absolute luckiest fight of my entire life, and I'm going to show you guys this one. So I brought in APOC, Eternals, Red Hulk, and I can't remember the 5th. Maybe it was Emma or something like that. I can't remember, honestly. Against this like Black Knight, Rogue, Gambit, Peggy, and Cap, I think it was. Or no, it was Rogue, Gambit, Cap, and X23. So you'll see I use the special from Red Hulk turn 1 on Black Knight. I get deleted. So we have X23 taking a turn because of her passive. I do the APOC punch. It does absolutely nothing to this 3-diamond G19 Black Knight. Guess what? The Falcon punch still doesn't kill him. And then I'm just dead. So later APOC. And then this ability block, if this goes on Icarus, I lose because then X23 would target Icarus because she targets the lowest health, put that trauma, and I've lost. But you'll see Icarus here has other plans, and he wipes the board. This is the absolute luckiest I've ever gotten in Marvel Strike Force. And this is the peak of my career right here. It's downhill from here. It wasn't the tournament win. It was that. So that absolutely should not have worked because of how big that Black Knight was. Honestly, I did not need the Red Hulk there. I probably could have just not used the Red Hulk and just kept the APOC there. Because the APOC would have gone before the Rogue because of the Emma being there. And Eternals would have gone, then APOC would have gone, then it would have been a lot better. But you live and you learn, right? So, yeah, I got really lucky there. Room number 5, we got full MOE into a Hive Mind, and it's a really straightforward matchup. You just use Titania ult on Void Knight, and then you pretty much just go all in on Red Goblin to make sure he dies. And then from there, you literally just get them all low for the Kang ult. Kang ult goes, kills them all. It's pretty much over from there. And then room number 6, we've got SD with Lizard going into a Spider Society with Quicksilver. Once again, this is the timeout room. And as you can see, this is the bigger Spider Society, so I'm throwing in a Lizard here because the Spider Society is so large. It's kind of an insurance policy to make this team better. But yeah, it worked decently well. 83-54, a little bit of an efficiency sink because of how big these teams are. But it worked. So let's get into my defense for week number 4. Coming into room number 1, we've got Extreme with Dorm. And Extreme with Dorm, just like it was good in room number 3 with my opponent, it's going to be good in room number 1 as well. So I'm going to put this here. I might switch this to room number 3 and put my room number 3 in 1, but I'm not sure yet, honestly. And you'll see why, and I'll talk about it when I talk about room number 3. But this team is obviously really nuts. Getting an extra revive just adds another layer of complexity here. Most people have Superior 6 on defense, so you can't just Superior 6 this and turn your brain off. And if you can, then your defense is way worse. So it is what it is. I've got Striker on Dormammu because he's the only Striker on the team here. We're going to put Forge as a healer. I don't know why I clicked Raider. And then they're going to be clearing the vulnerables here. So this is going to make the team way tankier than normal. So when they clear the vulnerable, getting 20% max health is going to be pretty nice because most of the teams that go into this are going to put out vulnerables like Masters of Evil, Cabal, all that kind of stuff, right? So this is going to be the team I'm running here. Again, I could put this in room number 3, but I'm not going to just yet. And also, Nightcrawler is going to be G19 by the time the next week starts as well. So a G19 Nightcrawler in here is going to cause for way more problems as well. So that's going to be my room number 1 or possibly my room number 3. Coming in to room number 2, surprise, surprise, it's not Old Man Logan. That's right, it's going to be Spider Society. Spider Society is going to be good in pretty much any room, honestly. The reason why they're not in room 1 is because they already clear vulnerables, so they don't really benefit from being in room 1. So there's really no need to put them in there. And they're not in room 6 because I have something different in room 6. And room 4, I have something way better than this for room 4. So I'm putting them here because they're still going to take a good team. They're still going to pull a Secret Defenders. They're still going to pull probably a Lizard. They're still going to pull big things. And this team at 2.6 million is still a nuisance to kill. Like, they're not easy. Noir is G19, 2 diamond, so he hits really hard turn 1 with his ultimate. If you can get a surprise kill on somebody with like a Pav because he's rebounding between 2 people over and over again, this team just snowballs and snowballs quick, and it can't be underestimated. So I feel like they're the new Infinity Watch, and they have to be put on defense for an efficiency sink, or it takes a really good team to beat it, which is really nice. So that's why they're going to be in room number 2. All right, this is going to be the one. This is going to be the controversial one. Room number 3, Superior 6. And it's a full Superior 6. I am still on the fence on it if I want to lose Lizard for offense. Because as you saw from my attacks, Lizard is so good on offense because he helps with the Noir comps when Noir is with Mercs for money. He helps with the Spider Society comps when they're really big. But Superior 6 is just not as good on defense without Lizard. So I'm going to run Lizard here, and I honestly don't recommend running Lizard on defense because you are losing so much power from your offense that it is going to make it way harder for you to do things on offense. But I feel like the benefits of having him on defense are going to outweigh the negatives from not having him on offense. So that's why I'm going to try it, and obviously I'm going to report back and see how it did for me. I'm going to use Skirmisher on Lizard because he's going to go turn 1. You could also use Raider too to get a bunch of crits out there. Raider's also completely fine. I'm putting Striker on Green Goblin Classic because he's going to ult after all of those Raider buffs go out from Lizard. And Green Goblin Classic is going to get a Striker attack out there. You could also use him as a Raider. It doesn't matter because it depends on who's going to go first, because Lizard only goes first if there's a Spider-Verse character. But this team is really, really good on defense, and it could be in room number 1. But remember, you cannot apply vulnerables to this team when they have charges, which is why I don't have it in 1. But honestly, it might be better to have that Dorm Extreme in 3 to benefit from the exposed procs. But again, I don't know if the exposed procs are worth leaning into for Extreme with just Nightcrawler, right? So that's why I have this in room number 3. This is going to be really interesting. I really don't know if I'm going to keep this or not, but it's going to be something, that's for sure. And then we got Doc as a healer just for extra tankiness and extra annoyances. But yeah, this is going to be my room number 3. Alrighty. Room number 4. This is essentially a Hide the Pickle 2.0. My goal with this room is just for something big to take this out. And that's fine, right? And with a Black Knight in here, immediately people take this room seriously. But then with an Old Man Logan in here, it gets even more serious. And then you've got 3 people that are just going to be annoyances. So you have Cap with a reflexive taunt if Peggy goes low. You have Cap with his own taunt in general. You have Rogue with her trauma ability block, disrupt, slow, offense down, defense down, special, and then she gets the good old trauma, or she gets the safeguard with the taunt. You have Peggy to heal and give a rebalance as well, possibly revive the Captain America, and then you have just Old Man Logan doing Old Man Logan things. This, I'm just really hoping somebody overestimates this. And something that can beat this is like a big-time APOC. But then you won't have big time for another one of my defenses, which will really put you at a detriment. But I think this room is going to catch some people off guard. We've got a bunch of cleanses here as well. A lot of immunities going out, so the room rules won't affect this team very much. And then we've got the cleanses from Cap, the cleanses from Peggy. The cleanses from Old Man Logan as well, and then Black Knight's putting the trauma on everybody, so when they take a turn, they're not going to clear those negative effects on their turn, so that's going to make this room just really a nuisance, honestly. So I'm really excited to see how this room goes. But yeah, that's going to be where I'm putting my Old Man Logan. Room number 5, we have moved the Pickle. That's right, Hide the Pickle is now in room number 5 with a slight alteration. So Hide the Pickle works pretty well when Cabal couldn't go into it, right? And now Cabal, I feel like, is gonna have to go into my room 4 with that Old Man Logan, and if it doesn't, then that's fine. You're gonna struggle, and you're gonna struggle big time. or Cabal's going to go into that superior 6, and then you don't have Cabal anywhere else. So for here, the only alteration I made to this is I put Vol here because I feel like Vol is going to be really interesting here with the Thanos because it gives energy to cosmic adjacent allies. So Vol could get to Vol's ult a lot faster. There's 2 people putting out an exposed proc here. And the idea with the Panda here is, remember, if somebody APOC ults, it's going to flip everything, right? So it flips that pre-taunt on Zuggs. But if Panda gets knocked below 50% health, then he gets a taunt. So APOC has to punch Panda and can't punch Super Skrull. So that kind of nullifies the APOC coming in here because it just completely neuters it, which is really funny. So that's why I'm going to be running this here. And in room number 5, the villains are going to be getting a revive. So Thanos getting a revive, Zuggs getting a revive, but most importantly, Super Skrull getting a revive. Because you don't have to just kill him once, you have to kill him twice now. So that makes it even worse. So that's why I'm going to be running this in room number 5. And now for room number 6, we have Infinity Watch with Quicksilver. And there are counters to this, aren't there? Yes, there are. Namely, Eternals, BTS, and Tangled. But if you're using Big Time Spider-Man to beat this room, because you need to use the ult on Quicksilver, you're then not using Big Time Spider-Man on room 4, right? So now you can't use that Big Time Spider-Man to take that Black Knight taunt off of him. So then it's putting you in a little bit of a bind. Now, yes, you can absolutely use like a Void Knight here. That's very true. But a lot of people have Hive Mind on defense. Now, don't they? Yes, they do. And then now with this team here, with spreading the positive effects and everybody ulting turn 1, this is going to get nasty real quick. So this is going to take a pretty good team to beat it, even though it's only at 2 million. Because if Quicksilver starts taking turns, you're going to have some problems, and some big problems. So that's why I've got Infinity Watch in 6 with Quicksilver, and it also cannot be Pegasus. If somebody tries to Pegasus this, good luck. Try it. Please try to Pegasus this, because I doubt in a million years that would work. Even if this is on like a million punchdown, I don't see that working. Unless they get really good RNG. But even then, I doubt it. So, that's going to be it for room number 6. All right, gents. That's going to be my defense for week number 4. I've got some weird stuff in here. I've got some annoyances. I've got some Cabal bait. I've got some Spider Society in 2. I've got Extreme Dorm in 1. That Infinity Watch in 6. I'm super excited to see how this defense does. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I hope you guys take some stuff from this. Maybe modify it a little bit. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about it. There's been a guy commenting saying, hey, this is how I would counter it. This is what I would do. I like this one. I liked yours last week, whatever it is. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I love reading those. It's awesome hearing what you guys think and hearing the creative juices flowing from you guys as well. But until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, y'all.